let's add custom paintings to Minecraft. If you want to go deeper, the 26.x modding courses are linked down below. 30 plus hours covering complex block entities with fluid and energy handling, custom mobs, custom networking, and even custom biomes and dimensions. Everything you need for 26.x all in one place, linked down below in the description. Right, we find ourselves back in the tutorial once more, and in this tutorial we're going to be adding custom paintings over here to our Minecraft mod. Now this is actually slightly more involved than you might think, because we basically have to set up sort of the base conditions to add sort of custom data pack entries to our whole Minecraft mod. So we'll actually have 3 new data gen Java classes. The good thing, it's all data gen. The bad thing, I mean, I guess it's like 3 Java classes that we need to add. So it's a little bit more complicated than one might think for mere paintings. But one of those things, like I said, is also a setup, and that is going to be one of the classes, which is the mod registry data generator. Is this really the best name for it? I mean, I guess you could do it a dynamic registry provider, mod registry data provider over here. And that is going to be the sort of hard piece about this, which will also be used for all sorts of other things like enchantments, villager trades, damage types, I don't even know, jukebox songs. So there's quite a few things over here that this particular class will be used for. So highly recommended if there's any other things than actually to follow this particular tutorial over here. And then we have 2 more, which is 2 more classes specifically, which is the mod paintings class, as well as the very strangely mod painting tags over here. There we go. Now this should probably be the mod painting tags provider. Let's be honest over here. That is a little bit nicer. And there we go. We will start though with the mod paintings class. This one is going to have 2 helper methods, which I'm going to copy over. They are actually more straightforward than you might think. It's really not that crazy. Let's go through from the bottom to the top. So the register method over here has a lot of different parameters. And also I don't like the formatting. There we go. That's a little bit nicer. So we have the bootstrap context. I'll explain that in a second. Then we have a resource key. This is just a key that is specifically unique for each of the different painting variants. Then we have the width and the height of the variant, and then also the whether or not they have an author, like the painting itself has an author. And then we're registering this with the key, then the painting variant itself with the height, the width, the height, and then the key as its identifier. And then if there is an author, we're basically going to say, hey, all right, we're going to have an author translation here. And if not, then we only have a title translation. That's literally all that this is doing. It looks a little bit more crazy than it actually is. It really is not that complicated. Now, the create method is just helpful to create a resource key for painting variants, which we're going to add quite a few of. So there's going to be a public static final resource key over here, resource key of type painting variant. And this is going to be saw underscore them underscore key equal to the create method over here with saw underscore them as the name. And we'll duplicate this 2 additional times. Once for shrimp, which is going to be called shrimp over here. And then once for the delightfully named world, which is called world. Crazy enough. So these resource keys are literally just like, they're kind of like identifiers, but a little bit stronger, basically tied to a specific type of thing that you can add, right? In this case, a sort of a data pack sort of thing that can be added. And anything that has to do with data packs and a lot of stuff that is JSON file generated that isn't one of the main things like the model files and things like that. So we have, of course, seen a couple of things in the data folders, right? So the loot tables, for example, we've created those without the registry provider thing with the dynamic stuff. But now here we get into some very interesting things, and that is going to be a public static void bootstrap method with a bootstrap context. You can see context. However, we actually wanted to say that this is a bootstrap context of type painting variant over here. Very important. And this is sort of the first clue. Every time you see a bootstrap method with a bootstrap context, you can always deduce, okay, this is the type that we're trying to create. We can actually go into this. This is a record, and you can see it takes in a width, a height, an identifier, and then 2 optionals over here, which is the title and the author. And the idea here being we're going to create a JSON file that holds all of the data for our custom painting. So how big is it, right? How many blocks is it big? 1 by 1 would be just 1 block big. And then a 16 by 16, indeed, which is the highest that it can go, is literally a 16 block by 16 block painting, which is really crazy that it actually goes that far and that high and that big. But you could theoretically make that huge of a painting. Anything bigger does not work because that's basically the painting variant that it basically creates over here. So that's very important to note. And to create these JSON files, we want to register them. So we're going to call the register method, this one down here, where we create the new painting variant. I pass into this the context, then the key, so this is source them, then here the width and the height, and then true for it has an author. And then we just duplicate this twice for the shrimp right here, although the shrimp has a height of 1, and then the world over here is 2 by 2 as well. And we'll see this bootstrap context a lot of different times in the future when it comes to world gen, when it comes to, like I said, enchantments and I don't even know, villager traits. Oh gosh, don't even remind me of villager traits. That's a whole can of worms. That's going to be crazy. But regardless, this bootstrap over here will need to be registered not with our data generator class directly, but first with the mod registry data provider over here. And that is going to extend the Fabric dynamic registry provider. We will hover over this to implement the getName and the configure method, and then hover over this again, create constructor matching super, and then here what we need to do in the name. In theory, we could leave this empty, but we can also just do tutorial mod. The data provider is okay. I guess that's fine. As long as it's unique, I think you should be good to go. And in the configure method, it's actually super simple. Here we just want to say entries.addAll, registries.lookup or throw, passing in registries.painting variant. No, not the painting registry, painting variant. There we go. And that's all we have in this case. This basic sort of allows us to, hey, all right, we are now going to be able to add those JSON files. And then I did lie a little bit. We actually do want to, well, sort of call the bootstrap method directly in the data generators, but not within the onInitialize. We want to do this in the build registry method. Right here, we're going to say registry builder.add, and there is where we're going to add the registries.painting variant, and then always mod paintings : bootstrap. Idea being, we're basically sending a reference to the bootstrap method over here with our bootstrap context, and this is sort of going to add the bootstrap to the registry set builder, which is then going to, go through and create those JSON files. Very important, though. In the pack right here, we still need to add a provider, and this provider is the mod registry data provider over here, right? So this one over here with the entries, this still has to be added. Very, very important that we add this, and don't forget to add this. Then with this created, we can generate our painting JSON files already, but we are not done 100% because we also want our paintings to be placeable. And that happens with the custom painting tag. I don't know why this is the case, but it is what it is. So the mod painting tags provider is going to extend the Fabric tags provider of type painting variant. No, of type painting variant. There we go. And then we're going to see. So this is going to be implementing the add tags method. Hover over this again. Create constructor matching super, and we can just get rid of all of this stuff. We also don't need the resource key right here, because this is going to be registries.painting variant. Absolutely fantastic. And then in the add tags, it's as simple as saying get or create a raw builder. For the painting variant tags of placeable, there's only one. And here we're going to add a tag entry.element of mod paintings.sawthem.identifier. And then just duplicate this twice over to add shrimp and the world here as well. This is just going to ensure that our paintings will be placeable via, number one, I think that this is also going to generate the items, although I think the items might actually be generated normally. So this is probably only going to make it so that it is going to be added to the random painting as well. But regardless, if you want to have paintings, you should add this. There we go. And now this painting tag provider, of course, this one also needs to be added as a provider here. You can see it actually suggests this to us, add provider, mod painting tags provider, easy enough. We're not done quite yet because we need, number one, of course, the painting textures themselves, but also the translation, which is a little bit different. So we start, of course, with painting for the key, then tutorial mod, our mod ID, then the name of the painting, and then for .title, we have the title of it, and then .author is going to be the author. In this case, all three of them made by NanoAttack. So there we go. And for the textures, we go to the textures folder and make a new directory called painting, and then inside of there, that's where we're going to have our three paintings, the world, saw them, and shrimp. And here we can also see that, for example, saw them is a 32 by 32 texture, big painting because it is 2 by 2, right? So one block is 16 by 16 by 16 voxels or 16 by 16 textures. So that is why the shrimp, which is only a size 1 in its height, is a 32 width and a 16 height. That's the whole idea, and that is the entirety for the paintings in this case. Definitely a little bit more than one might expect, but generally speaking, still should all be fine. We're going to run the data gen. This is going to generate us all of the JSON files that we need, so the tag as well as the painting JSON files. You can see painting variants over here, and you can see everything that we've basically put in there. Absolutely freaking fantastic. And with that done, let's jump into the game and see if it works. Alright, friends, we're back in Minecraft. As you can see, the paintings have been successfully added to the game, so we can already set them down. And if I get the random painting, then, well, it might take some time over here, but we will, or we should at least, get all, this is beautiful, all of our paintings. Let's just see if we can also get the shrimp over here. There we go. So all of our paintings successfully added to Minecraft. Awesome. And that's going to be it for this tutorial right here. Big thanks to all of my members over here that joined. Don't forget, you can get 14 days of early access if you join as a Stonebricks member here on YouTube. And that's going to include this video right here, where we'll add custom stats to Minecraft. Hope to see you there. So, yeah.